in the law. Everything is there in the law.
Legal counsel for the Electoral Commission, Justin Amenuvo, argued the questions the petitioner sought answers for are not relevant to the matter yet to be determined.
My lord, we said in our answer that indeed the petitioner had signed 13 of those. We have also stated in our answer that where a party fails or refuses to sign on any of the forms at this stage of the process goes on.
Though the questions were not directed at the second respondent, lead counsel for the side, Akoto Ampao, sought the permission of the court to argue based on a point of law.
It is not therefore necessarily a proper question to put in interrogatories. We have decided that the interrogatory 3 also ought to be disallowed as being a fishing interrogatory. And my lords, it is our submission that these interrogatories are indeed fishing interrogatories and should be disallowed.
The interrogatories that were subsequently dismissed were formally set by the legal team of the petitioner, John Dramani Mahama, to be answered by the Electoral Commission to determine in advance what facts will be presented for trial of the case.
Well, let's stay with the petition a bit further. The second day of the election petition lived up to its billing as lead counsel of the petitioner, John Dramani Mahama, had exchanges with Supreme Court Judge Nene Amegache over constant references to the name of the Election Commission Chair, Jean Mensah, who is the first respondent to this petition. These were noticed as lawyer Chachu Chikata posed questions he said were key to discovering the errors committed by the Electoral Commission.
It was a usual day at the Supreme Court, but anticipatingly, reporters and the public were looking out for exchanges between the bench and lead counsel. Chacho Chikata was arguing the interrogatories the petitioner was seeking were important because they would enable the Supreme Court to determine the authenticity of results, which enabled the presidential candidate of the MPP, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to be declared winner of the 2020 presidential election. But presenting the list of questions, Chacho Chikata made constant references to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, rather than the office that conducted the polls. It was at this point his frequent mentioning of the name drew a response from Justice Nene Amegache, a judge on the panel.
Question 7. The interrogatory seeks to find out when did Mrs. Jean Adukwe Mensah, is it Adukwe or Adukwe? Adukwe, yes. When did Mrs. Jean Adukwe Mensah, the chairperson of first respondent and the returning officer for the presidential election, first realize there were errors in figures she had announced in her declaration of 9 December 2020? When? This is a question only one person in the world can answer.
Justice Amegache insisted the questions should be directed to the office of the chairperson and not come across as a personal attack on Jean Mensah.
Mr. Chikata, why wouldn't you limit?
I'm sorry?
Why wouldn't you limit your references to the EC to the office, the chairperson, rather than the personality? It seems to me that your attack is against the personality of the person and not the office. So we'll be happy if you just limit it to the chairperson of the EC, because in her absence, any of the deputies, anybody at all could step in.
Respectfully, my lords, there is only one returning officer for the presidential elections.
And that is
that returning officer is not the EC. That returning officer is the chairperson of the Electoral Commission.
Even then, there were vehement protests, literally, from Chacho Chikata on his demands.
Chairperson, that's all. We are not interested.
The chairperson has a name. I'm not able to mention the name of the chairperson. No, my lord, respectfully, I want to understand. Am I being prohibited from mentioning the name of the chairperson? Is that the issue?
Reading through your petition,
Yes.
as to the instant application, the constant emphasis on the name. What I'm telling you is that we'll be satisfied just with the designation, because in her absence, any of the deputies could act in that position.
My Lord.
So if it is an election petition, and you are challenging the election of the president, it is sufficient that the institution charged with the responsibility of conducting that election had done their work, and the chairperson, who is the head, represent that institution, and not the personality, the name.
My lords, with the greatest respect, I believe that the constitutional requirements regarding the returning officer and the particular circumstances that we are dealing with in this case do not make it possible to have the situation that you are envisaging, where somebody else steps in for the chairperson. Respectfully, the Constitution makes the chairperson, and only that chairperson, the returning officer. And in the circumstances of this case, that chairperson happened to be the person that we refer to in the petition. And that chairperson actually was the person who undertook her responsibilities in accordance with the various constitutional and legal provisions that we have. So, my lord, we do not mention her name by way of targeting an individual. That is very far from it. My lord, when I cited before you a decision of the Supreme Court, and I cited the decision of Justice Badegbe as an individual judge, he read a unanimous decision of the whole court. I did not target Mr. Justice Badegbe when I mentioned his name, because he happened to read that judgment.
Well, meanwhile, spokesperson for the petitioner, Dr. Dominic Ayini, says his side is surprised by the ruling of the court. He accused the court of sidestepping his own decision in the 2013 election petition.
Dr. Dominic Ayini did not spare any effort to communicate their disappointment with a unanimous ruling.
We're very shocked that the court did two things. First of all, by sidestepping its own decision in the 2013 election petition, one, by a 9-member panel. Okay, that decision was cited by learned counsel for the petitioner, Mr. Tachuchi Kata, to the court. And then secondly, by implying that there has been kind of an implicit amendment of CI 47, that we think is very, I don't want to use strong language, but I think that it is legally untenable.
According to him, the court sidestepped the basic issues brought before it.
We think that the issues were very relevant because they go to the integrity of the pleadings that were filed, that is a petition, as well as the respective answers. And in fact, if you were listening, counsel for the first respondent did admit that our interrogatories were relevant, because he said that those interrogatories raised issues that had been answered by their answer, as well as the answer of the second respondent. And so for us, relevance was key to the application that we brought.
A member of the counsel for the second respondent, Frank Davis, justified why his side raised preliminary objection to the petition.
This tells you that the petitioner has a long way to go insofar as this petition is concerned. There are ground rules which have been set for this petition, and the Supreme Court is not going to allow for unnecessary and interminable delays in the hearing of this petition. We are gladdened by the fact that the opposition we mounted was exactly what was rendered by the Supreme Court in its ruling.
He wondered why the petitioners were not ready to continue with the case, resulting in an adjournment.
We heard counsel for lawyer for a petitioner talking about time to have certified true copy of the ruling. Well, that is his right, but that will not delay the trial. The courts have indicated quite clearly that tomorrow morning we are here for the pre-trial. So tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. we will be here. Indeed, just to let you know that we were ready and prepared with our issues, because the last time the court directed that there was going to be a pre-trial, every lawyer knows that when the case is adjourned for pre-trial or case management, you have to prepare your issues. And if you bring an application to court, you either know that the application will be granted or dismissed. So there is no need to wait for that to happen. Much more so when you filed your application just about 2:40 p.m. yesterday. What did you expect?
But Dr. Dominic Ayeni disagrees.
We are committed to an expeditious trial. In fact, our application, on the contrary, was the one that was designed to lead to an expeditious trial. And we are very ready for this trial. They should not, they thought this was going to be a walk in the park. And what they saw today is just a tip of the iceberg.
Well, a hearing of this petition, this election petition, continues tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. at the Supreme Court, with the pre-trial, which begins tomorrow. It's going to be live here on TV3 as well as various media general platforms, so stay with us. But away from the election petition, government has begun discussions with some vaccine manufacturing companies on suitable doses of coronavirus vaccines for use here in Ghana. President Akufo-Addo made this known at the opening of the 72nd Annual New Year School and Conference here in Accra.
The two-day New Year School and Conference, which is under the theme Building Ghana in the Face of Global Health Crisis, seeks to bring stakeholders together to find ways of addressing the challenges the coronavirus pandemic poses for the country. Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Mary Chinrihese, called for concerted effort to confront the negative impact of the pandemic on the economy. The Presidential Coordinator for Government Coronavirus Response Program, Dr. Anafia Samoba, wants the country to rely on her human resource to fight the pandemic.
Whilst we cannot insulate ourselves from the rest of the world, our development depends on relying and developing our own institutions, our own people, our own scientists, our own universities, civil societies, think tank, media, and private sector. The fact that most research done by universities and the fact that most civil society organizations are largely funded by external partners make all of us vulnerable.
President Akufo-Addo charged Ghanaian scientists to be proactive. He revealed plans by government to procure suitable coronavirus vaccines for use in Ghana.
The committee formed by government to recommend the appropriate decision on COVID-19 vaccines has completed its work, enabling government to begin discussions with vaccine manufacturing companies with the goal of ordering the suitable doses of the vaccines for use in Ghana. Details of this will be announced very soon. The pandemic has illustrated vividly the need for self-reliance in all areas of social and economic life. It is key that we also break the cycle of dependence on foreigners in the fields of science and medicine as well. It is not beyond our scientists and pharmaceutical companies, whose knowledge and expertise cannot be questioned, to produce an indigenous or Ghanaian vaccine to combat the virus. They must be up and doing.
The annual New Year School and Conference is a platform which allows the expression of opinions on pertinent national development issues.
Well, it's still on COVID-19 as the fate of nearly 100 persons arrested by the Accra Regional Police Command for flouting mask-wearing protocol on Tuesday is yet to be determined. The police say it is moving in to enforce adherence to the protocol as Ghana continues its battle against the virus. But a video showing the arrested persons crammed in a building is raising serious concerns.
hours since President Akufo-Addo announced the security agencies are going to strictly enforce the wearing of masks among the citizenry as Ghana's COVID cases continue to surge. The Accra Region Police on Tuesday carried out an operation to arrest 97 individuals who were flouting the mask-wearing protocol in parts of the business districts, Tudu, CMB, Farisco, and the like. But a video we have seen shows the individuals crammed up in one building, defying the exact protocols they were supposed to be enforcing.
In the video, the 97 persons comprising 60 males and 37 females are seen standing closely with little to no physical spacing. A number of them were seen holding their masks as they looked on, worried during the filming. Public Relations Officer of the Accra Region Police, DSP Efia Tenge, says some of the suspects had the masks but simply failed to keep them on.
What we observed was that when these people come into town, it is either they have the face mask, yet they will not put it on. So usually you see them putting the face mask in their bags or in their pockets. So they were all rounded up this morning.
The police says it will continue to enforce the protocols so long as Ghanaians fail to adhere to them.
Some were made to buy the face mask or take the face masks that were in their pockets or in their bags and wear them. So they have all been brought to the Regional Police Command as we take a decision on them.
But what happens when the handling of those arrested defies the whole idea of the exercise, as we see in this video? Where is the physical distancing?
Where is that distancing? And that's the question that is left for the police to answer. We do not know whether they've been sent to prison or otherwise, but questions have been raised as to why they have been put together. They're further increasing their risk of exposure to COVID-19. We'll be following this up and get some answers from the police about what you just saw. But although schools have reopened after almost 10 months break, some students and pupils will have to wait a bit longer to resume classes. This is because the schools they previously attended have folded up, has collapsed owing to the impact of COVID-19. Mercy Darling Local spoke to parents of some of the affected pupils and reports.
Basic schools across the country resumed classes on Monday, January 18, after a 10-month COVID-19 induced closure. However, some private schools could not return to business after the long closure.
The about 250 students that once received education from this facility can no longer do so because the facility has permanently been shut down. This is as a result of the adverse effect the coronavirus pandemic has had on the institutions. Parents are faced with the challenge of securing admissions at various institutions, especially in public schools, for the awards.
But I opened this school in September 2002, so it has been there for getting 18 years. When you look at the environment, yes, we have invested a lot in this school, but because it's a community school, the fees is far below for over the years. And when you evaluate, so it's good for people to see far and plan towards it. When you evaluate the current education reforms and other things, it means we shall be compelled to increase the fees. Now, when you increase the fees, people will not be able to pay. I still want to use it for something that will benefit the community. So I'm going to change all into one-room apartments, two-room apartments, and rent them.
Ajwa Ahinkan had 4 children at the Asmark International School at Wager, a private school which has folded up. Only 1 out of the 4 kids have gained admission at a government school. The others are home while I search for schools for them. I'm also financially challenged. Former students of the school who have gained admission to other schools are also faced with the non-availability of seats.
There's no chair in the school, so we are asked to bring chairs. That's why we came here for. some chest.
Okay. You've gotten admission at these schools? And what schools are that?
HIPS, International at Wager.
Is that another private school?
It was once a private school, but now it's a government school.
A rather concerning issue there, but some basic schools in Kumasi are yet to take delivery of PPEs 2 days after reopening. The physical distancing protocol is also not being observed due to inadequate classrooms. Here's a report by Ibrahim Abubakar.
A visit to the St. Martin's MA Primary and Junior High School at Akukwamo in the Edrisu municipality showed a high turnout of pupils after the 10-month break. One Veronica bucket had been placed in front of a school for pupils to wash their hands as the school awaits PPEs promised by government. Some pupils were in face masks while others were not. Most of the classrooms had more than the expected 30 pupils. Headmistress Elizabeth Sarkodie said the school cannot practice the shift system due to its current state.
COVID-19, we have to observe all the protocol, especially social distancing. You can see from the school now, the classrooms are very overcrowded. And if we want to practice the shifting system, there is a need to employ more teachers into the school year, which we cannot do it now.
The PTA started the construction of this classroom block to ease congestion, but the work was stopped due to financial constraints.
We are appealing to the government to come into our aid because we are doing our part. The pupils are wearing nose masks. We have been using the sanitizers, washing their hands under running water. The only thing that we are left with is the permanent structure.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Director General in charge of Management Services at the Ghana Education Service, that's Anthony Boateng, is saying that the Directorate is dealing with the inadequacy and late arrival of PPE at various public schools across the country. He gave the assurance when he led a team from the GES to welcome children entering kindergarten in some selected schools in Accra.
My first day at school is held at the beginning of every academic year. This year's event was different from the previous years. Pupils were taken through adherence to the COVID-19 protocols and were screened before entry into their classrooms.
These challenges will come. Inadequacy of PPEs, late arrival PPEs, they will be there. But that is not the focus. That should not be the focus. Our major concern has been how to ensure that these children, these are teachers, these staff, teachers, non-teaching staff, everybody is safe and secure.
The country director of UNICEF, Anne-Claire Duffy, who interacted with the children and presented them with educational materials, urged managers of the schools to ensure the safety and protection of the pupils.
We have been visiting 3 schools. This is the second day of school reopening in Ghana. We're very happy to see that this decision was made to prioritize education for children. As you know, it's been 10 months now that around 9.2 million children at the peak of the pandemic have been missing out on education. Globally, also you have 1.6 billion children that have been, not learning as you're learning when you're in a classroom.
UNICEF donated face masks, thermometer guns and wash facilities to the various schools visited.
Sit down.
Still live here on NEWS360. Let's now turn to our MTN Visual Report.
The walls have been, some of the walls fell. This is the poor nature of the ground. This is how bad the ground is. This is an assembly hall, a dining hall for people in the Dipapasi Technical School. The only dining hall for the Dipapasi Senior High Technical School in the KJB district of Foti region.
poor structure. It's quite
a
concerning.
very serious
poor structure,
situation
yeah.
there. That's a dining hall.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Anyway, you can also send us your video report 055-1433-044. We will be back shortly with the business news. We're telling them to stay.
I'm a proud old student of Agri Memorial Senior High School. My school needed a facelift, and Deluxe acrylic paint came in
and did their magic. And wow, the school looks
the touch is simply classic.
The school environment is now conducive for us all to teach and learn.
After the painting, our colors are just phenomenal.
Exquisite, a conducive place to study now.
Proud to be an amazing.
You like your acrylic paints, you can't contest.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family, because every smile matters.
Star 787 Hash is celebrating its winners of 2020. Each week, we've seen one of you win 20,000 Ghana cedis. Also, 8 big jackpot wins between 70,000 Ghana cedis and 920,000 Ghana cedis. And of course, there were 4 lucky brand new Toyota Corolla winners. This year, dear, you for blow. What would you do with 1 million Ghana cedis? Will you buy a house, start that dream business, or make a lifetime investment? Make your dreams come alive. Win this big jackpot with only 5 Ghana cedis this Saturday and be a millionaire. What you waiting for? Pick your phone now and dial star 787 hash to play and win. Star 787 hash. Obiadi.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Cleansoft. Use new Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful. Cleansoft, my favorite. Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, clean all.
Mama,
me know.
And I can't stand it.
Just a moment. And now power, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jack Macron no more. It's you can there. Hey yo, contomre. What okuni? Tomato sauce only a baby. And a pasadine for box with salad here. Hey yo, stew. And a jollofa. Na better one. That don't know it though. Auto that. And a bowl of ya. Oh, meant to bunny a joa. Joanna pass my sauce. Check for you, sir. Oh, more tasty. And a big beans for the breakfast. Na so a salad to ma'am. Oh, she. And a patuna. We can puffle. Na so a salad in ma. Oh, taste good. And a pan on dairy creamer. For box we so can see oats. Na cremitino. Yo, and a spaghetti. Talia Papa B. Mansunin Sijadu Re. Nafa and a spaghetti no gum. Who and a patalia no I am ready for what on you with you. So I no pa no so good.
Dem de ruboyi FDA ashushem ajatu.
Do you buy Universal Merchant Bank?
Let's do business now. My name is Eton Amse. Ghana Commercial Bank Capital Limited has resumed payments of funds to clients of liquidated fund management companies. Now, it says that payments made so far, according to the Managing Director, Kofi Ewuku, amount to some 170 million cedis, with 8,000 clients receiving their locked up funds. Payments between 25 million cedis and 60 million cedis, which began on Monday, January 18, will end on Friday, January 22. Government has allocated 1.4 billion cedis for payments of validated claims of clients. The Amalgamated Fund Ghana Limited is the same special purpose vehicle being used to pay clients of FMCs currently under official liquidation. The Amalgamated Fund Ghana Limited is managed by GCB Capital Limited, a subsidiary of GCB Bank Limited. Now, the 2020 UK Africa Investment Summit facilitated 27 trade and investment deals and commitments worth £15.4 billion. Stakeholders are hopeful in spite of the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The 2021 summit will attract huge investment deals. Natalie Fort us more in the following report.
The Africa Investment Conference is slated for January 20. The summit seeks to bring together UK and African businesses to explore the opportunities for partnership and investment. 27 trade and investment deals worth £6.5 billion and commitments worth £8.9 billion were announced in the 2020 summit. Head of Africa Practice at Hogan Lovells and co-chair of the UK's Africa Investors Group, Andrew Skipper, shared his expectations for this year's summit.
And there'll be focused sessions on agriculture, renewables, finance and professional services, and also infrastructure. With, of course, AstraZeneca, who are very much in the news at the moment with the COVID vaccine, which they developed with Oxford University and significant UK government support, and Vodacom, who've been heavily involved in digitisation in Africa, and, of course, the legal sector.
The UK has cut its aid spending from 0.7% to 0.5% of gross national income. Foreign legal advisor Priscilla Osei-Bonsu advises African firms on the UK's new trade arrangements.
The United Kingdom's approach is to keep the same conditions in place that already exist between the UK and African countries under EU trade deals. But these so-called continuity agreements will eventually run out. And that is precisely when the real opportunities and challenges for African states will emerge, because the United Kingdom, technically at this point, has less negotiation power.
In 2019, UK's trade with Africa amounted to £36.2 billion, equivalent to $48 billion, representing just 2.5% of the UK's total that year. With the global disruption to markets caused by COVID-19, investment will be vital to accelerate the UK and Africa's economic recovery.
Government intends to issue a total amount of 22,346,000 cedis in fresh domestic debt issuance for the first quarter of 2021. Of the total debt to be issued for Quarter 1 2021, 11,732,000 cedis is to roll over maturities, with the remaining 2,613,000 cedis being fresh issuance to meet government in its financing requirements.
Domestic investors will be able to invest up to 13.51 billion cedis in short-term government debt securities, which are not open to foreign investors. This comprises debt securities with tenors of 91 days, 182 days, and 364 days to be issued during the period. The remaining securities of 8.84 billion cedis, comprising debt securities with tenors from 2 years up to 20 years, will be made available to non-resident investors as well, who have tended to dominate subscriptions of such medium to long-term issuances. Total amounts of 10.4 billion cedis, 1.7 billion cedis and 1.41 billion cedis will be issued via auction for the 91-day, 182-day and 364-day bills. For securities with higher tenors, government will issue them through the book building method. Amounts of 4.13 billion cedis and 1.7 billion cedis will be issued for the 2-year notes and 3-year bonds, along with a targeted amount of 1.4 billion cedis in 5-year bonds. Total of 800 million and 700 million cedis are targeted for the 6-year and 7-year bonds. For the 20-year bond, 111.4 billion cedis is expected to be issued as a shelf offering, which will be reopened based on investors' request and dependent on market conditions.
Now, the cedi is projected to depreciate against the US dollar this year, trading at some 6 cedis 24 pesos by June. The depreciation, according to economic and finance think tank Center for Economic Finance and Inequality Studies, in its 2021 cedi outlook report, is further expected to worsen, with the local currency hitting 6 cedis 45 pesos to a dollar later in the year.
The projection by the think tank is premised on the fact that the expected rebound of the Ghanaian economy will not be enough to support the stability of the cedi for this year. Reduced exports, despite the reopening of world economies on the back of COVID-19 vaccines, coupled with revenue shortfalls and increasing budget deficits on the part of government, will all be factors. On the monetary side, the center notes that the forward forex auctions by the Bank of Ghana, which stabilized the local currency in 2020, will continue this year. However, the cedi's main challenge for this year, the Center for Economic Finance and Inequality Studies argues, will come from the fiscal policies of government, as it expects government's finances to come under pressure as more debts are expected to mature. However, some analysts hold a different view, suggesting that measures by the Bank of Ghana, among which is committed $775 million in forward forex auctions for the entire year, should strengthen the cedi. The cedi last year depreciated by 3.9% against the dollar, recording one of its best performance against the greenback in recent years. It gained marginally on Monday, January 18 against the dollar, and now trades at 5 cedis 85 pesos for a dollar.
Let's now head to the commodities market and see how gold, cocoa, and crude fared. And on the global commodities market today, cocoa price was stable around $2,527 per metric ton. Gold witnessed a price gain of 0.4% to trade around $1,842 per ounce. Crude snapped a 3-day losing streak with a recovery of 0.8% to climb above $55 a barrel. And that'll be it for business for tonight. More business news on 3news.com. My name is Eton Amse. Many thanks for your time.
Make you start off the year by stepping up with DSTV.
Things are about to get great.
Whoa, okay.
And that's important because
DSTV, they come give you more of the entertainment you and your family they like. So fasten your seatbelt. As DSTV take you go higher with more epic live soccer, exciting local drama, and best kids show.
That's a lot.
My people, all you for do be say, starting from 14th January to 31st March, upgrade your current DSTV package to the next one, and DSTV will bump you up to the one above that at no extra cost. It be that simple.
What?
Come on.
Oh, exciting.
Okay.
For example, let's say you have family. All you have to do is pay for Compact, and DSTV will give you Compact Plus at no extra cost.
This is a lot.
Yeah. Follow us with the hashtag DSTV Step Up for more, or call us on 0302 740 540. Terms and conditions apply.
Mom, so KidiVite contains all vitamins?
Yes, 12 essential vitamins that growing bodies need.
So we'll grow healthy and strong. And smart?
Absolutely.
KidiVite Multivitamin Tonic contains all the essential vitamins and nutrients needed for the healthy development of children from age 1 to 12 years. Also available, KidiVite Multivitamin Drops for babies under 12 months. Grow strong, grow healthy with KidiVite. Distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
I miss you.
It's not working.
What?
It's just not working.
Excuse me? You told me you love me and now it's not working?
The pen.
Who the heck is Jen?
There's just nothing. What's the problem?
Jen, huh?
Who?
For next time, Big Crystal Original. Get a pen you can rely on.
Close-up deep action with antibacterial mouthwash formula and deep cleaning gel. Close-up deep action. Enjoy long-lasting fresh breath.
You've done the hard work, the analysis, the selection. It's all going according to plan. Until City miss a sitter, and you miss your multi-bet by one. Miss your multi-bet by one, and we will return up to 20 times your stake. We've got your back, even when City don't.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years.
Sports segment is brought to you by
Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG.
Hello, good evening. Let's do some sports. My name is Thierry Nyan, and some Southampton players, including Ghanaian-born Mohamed Salisu, have reacted to the partnership between the English Premier League side and Ghana Premier League Giants contenders, of course, for the title, Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Southampton will share their industry-leading coaching expertise to help Kotoko realize their ambition of building a sustainable academy and pathway to the first team.
Everybody at Southampton is extremely proud to have you on board, and we can't wait to start working with you all.
We look forward to working alongside one of the leading teams in Africa and helping to support young players in my home country of Ghana.
Looking forward to meeting and working with you all in the future.
Still in the world of football, coach Abukari Damba has praised the quality of play from Ghana Premier League teams as we enter into match day 10 over the weekend. Now, the former goalkeepers trainer for the Black Stars believes players, or the player of the month, Glasson Awako, and others deserve call-up to the senior national team. Of course, you're reviewing the first few games.
Absolutely. You know, the players are so hungry. You can see the competitive nature and what they want to do for themselves. We are all very much aware that the national team coach, CK Akuno, says that any player who does well domestically, his doors are open. So I believe they have all heard this, and of course, you can see that we have some individual players who are standout. I will always single out one individual player, especially from the Olympic side, Gladson Awako. He has been so impressive and very consistent in every single game in terms of, you know, his technique in passing, in terms of link play, and in terms of discipline on the pitch. And he's showing leadership on the pitch. And I believe that such an individual, you know, is really knocking very hard on the doors of the national team, the senior national team.
A special goal from a special player.
It's the Ghana Premier League you're watching, and of course the quality is oozing in that particular competition. But let's go to another league where, of course, we've seen class being permanent in Lionel Messi. Not exactly so this week, because Barcelona is to appeal the suspension issued to Leo Messi. The competition committee announced on Tuesday that the Argentinian's red card in the final minutes of the Spanish Super Cup final against Athletic Club de Bilbao shall incur a too-much ban. It was the first time that Messi had ever been sent off while playing for Barcelona. The referee's report describes the motivation, thus striking an opponent with his arm with excessive force while the ball was in play, but not within a playable distance. Very, very shocking decision there, but he deserves whatever he gets according to the rules. Okay, now we do African champions Al Ahly, because they will be facing Bayern Munich if they beat Al Duahil in the FIFA Club World Cup. Al Ahly and Al Duahil face each other in match 3 of the competition, which will be staged on February 4. All right, so what you see there is some players in the world of tennis training ahead of the Australian Open. And 2 more Australian Open tennis players have tested positive for COVID-19 after arriving in Melbourne. State health officials have said on Tuesday. Now, it comes after a player was believed to have tested positive on Sunday amid growing controversy over the events. One more playing or non-playing participant also has COVID, bringing the overall total linked to the Open to 7, including a flight attendant. Some 1,200 people have flown in for the tournament, which begins on February 8th. Positive cases on 3 flights have forced 72 players into full quarantine, meaning they have to isolate full-time in their hotel rooms for 14 days instead of being allowed outside to train like other participants. Measures under control very fully in the Australian Open. But that'll be all for the sports here on NEWS360. My name is Thierry Winyan. Thanks for joining me. We'll bring you some more sports later right here on NEWS360.
So baby girl, let me send you I'll take you to the moon one of these days, Makume Mutofi. Anything for you.
Oh, Kocho. I also wanted to tell you something special. I think I'm in.
Hey, Massa, wouldn't you credit? Massa, I didn't know for that.
Small point at the comes home.
CBG is empowering you to get digi with CBG Mobile. Simply dial *924# and you can conveniently perform your banking activities. Transfer funds without hassle, top up airtime, check your account balance, pay for your utility bills, school fees, request for your cards, and many more.
Oh baby, sorry. I had some small technical difficulties, so where were we? My ready.
Oh darling, don't worry. I will always stand with you.
CBG, we stand with you.
Nana, come and help me. You need to learn.
But I'm more interested in drawing.
How are you going to be part of the business if you don't learn?
You just don't understand.
Morning. Anyone for some Lipton?
The rich taste of Lipton awakens body and mind.
Let me have a look at your drawings. Son, these designs are amazing.
Lipton Yellow Label Tea, awaken to what really matters.
To help fight the spread of germs, learn Lifebuoy's hand washing habits. Wash hands with soap or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Together, let's help fight the spread of germs in Africa.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Do your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
This news segment is brought to you by Food Lover Special Fragrant Rice.
My name is Anita Ikuya with time for some entertainment news. Another conversation as to whether the next Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture is raging. While some want an industry person appointed, others want a candidate who can deliver and take the image of the sector to the next level.
The ministry created in 2013 under the previous John Mahama government was initially called Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejari and Jifa Ablan Gomashi were in charge from 2013 to 2017. The name of the ministry was changed to Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture during Akufo-Addo's first term. Catherine Afeku was appointed as minister with Dr. Ziblim Idi as deputy. In 2019, Catherine was reassigned and Barbara Otinjesi replaced her. Ahead of a ministerial appointment for Akufo-Addo's second term, some stakeholders want the president to nominate an industry player to head the ministry.
Most of our politicians, they don't speak our language. They don't speak the creative language.
There are a lot of details in the creative space that they don't know. And we feel like, there must be one of us. There must be somebody who will come from our space to go and partner whoever becomes the substantive minister. And so for me, I think that it will be in our good interest, to have one of us out there.
Speaking on Simply Showbiz, an associate producer of 3 Music Network, Ricky Tennyson, said encouraging more creative persons into governance will come in handy for the sector.
We need to push more creative people to now begin to get into parliament, because once you are close to parliament, or once you are in parliament, the decision to get you or appoint you as a minister to spearhead your industry is easier.
Convener of the Ashanti Creative Forum, Austin Wood, says the forum is interested in a minister who has the technical knowledge of the creative arts sector.
Who understand creative arts to go beyond movies and just music, and that weaving of kente is part of creative arts. Even the making of beasts is part of creative arts. If you bring someone who does not understand creative arts but has the business acumen, they will still go and focus on tourism. So we don't want someone who is just about business acumen and doesn't understand creative art. That is why the criteria is 3. We need a creative arts person who understands us, we need continuity, and we need an industry person.
Now, organizers of the Black Star International Film Festival have officially opened submissions for the 2021 festival. Filmmakers are being asked to submit their works for consideration from now till Tuesday, March 31st, 2021. Even though 2020 was not a very good year for the film industry and the sub-region because of COVID-19, the organizers are hopeful of getting some good entries from Africa. The film festival has for the past years provided distribution opportunities to emerging filmmakers, as well as educating and informing budding ones on relevant industry standards. That's it for entertainment this evening. Coming up shortly is international news. Good evening.
Now, on the international front this evening, a further 1,610 people have died in the UK within 28 days of a positive COVID test, the biggest figure reported in a single day since the pandemic began. Now, it means the total number of deaths by that measure is now above 90,000. The previous highest figure came last Wednesday when 1,564 deaths were recorded. Another 33,355 positive COVID cases have been recorded in the most recent 24-hour period. A total of 4,266,577 people have now received the first dose of a vaccine. That's according to the latest government figures. The figures come as new estimates from the Office of National Statistics show about 1 in 10 people across the UK tested positive for COVID-19 antibodies in December, roughly double the October figure.
U.S. President-elect Joe Biden is to undo one of Donald Trump's last actions in office by blocking his decree lifting COVID travel bans on visitors from much of Europe and Brazil. Ms. Biden's spokeswoman said now was not the time to be easing travel measures. That's what we're picking, but Joe Biden will take office that's about 17 hours GMT. That's 5 p.m. here in Ghana tomorrow. And however, much of the spotlight is on Mr. Trump's final moves last day today, including the presidential pardons. Now, security is intense in Washington, D.C. ahead of the inauguration ceremony. Thousands of National Guard Reserve soldiers have also been deployed in the wake of the storming of the Capitol building by a pro-Trump mob on 6th January that left 5 people dead. The FBI had earlier warned of possible protests across the nation by right-wing extremists emboldened by the invasion.
Well, there's more international news on 3news.com. Let's all stay safe, adhere to the safety protocol. On behalf of the rest of the team, we appreciate your time and company. As always, I am Alfred Okansi.
And I'm Natalie Force. Thanks a lot for watching and have a lovely evening.